Okay. So I'm here today with Lisa from Wild Passion Design, and Lisa came to me just over a year ago for a business anchoring session, and I accidentally discovered some of the ways that she's been using the principles and from the business anchoring session in her work. And so I felt like it might be quite helpful to dive in with Lisa and see how she's been applying the work and the energetics that we spoke about. So Lisa, thank you so much for being here with me today and being willing to share your story. Do you want to begin a little bit just by introducing yourself and your business and the work that you do?
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. Yeah, so I am a graphic designer and I do marketing, and my purpose and my goal is to help others to follow their passion, to have their own businesses as well, their own successful businesses. And so the way that I help them is by offering my graphic design and marketing talents and services. So I do anything from logos, business cards, flyers, anything with words and pictures to help promote businesses. But over the past 6 months, my business has evolved to doing social media for people. So setting up their Facebook and Instagram pages if they don't have them already. And if they do have them already, doing their weekly posts for them. And a lot of people don't have the time to do that or don't enjoy it. And I really enjoy doing it. It's one of my passions. And it's social media is one of the best ways to get your name out there. So I've got lots of clients now. Over the last 6 months, it's just taken off. I've definitely manifested all of that, and a huge part of it is definitely from doing the business anchoring with you. Definitely, I absolutely, believe that 100% that I've been guided in this direction because it's the best thing for me, and I feel like I'm helping other people as well by helping them to promote their businesses. So that's a little bit about me.
I just love that your business has taken off, and I can personally vouch for Lisa's work, and I know that hiring you to help me in my business has really helped me to take a huge weight off of my shoulders as well, and to feel like that I'm really being supported in my online presence. So I'm really grateful for that work, and I love the way that you have been so supported all the way through to bring your heart work out to the world and to support those that are really needing it. So
thank you
for everything that you do, and I'm glad to have been a small part of that. And so do you want to just share like a little bit? I know it's tracking back almost over a year, but do you want to just share a little bit about what prompted you to book that business anchoring session in the beginning, and what was kind of happening for you in your business at that time?
This time last year, I hadn't started my business yet. I was still quite fearful about taking that big step to do my own business, because it can be quite scary. You worry about how am I going to get clients and, have enough money to pay my bills. And I was doing a business course for creative people at the time online, and that was really helpful. And then you started promoting your business anchoring course and sessions, and straight away I was just like, yes, that's what I need. I need that extra more spiritual aspect to what I was about to do with taking that big step with my own business. And so doing the business anchoring session with you just helped me overcome that fear of the doubt that you have about yourself. You think, will I be successful? Will people know about me? All those fears and doubts that you have. And So that's pretty much where I was this time last year. I was still in those first steps of preparing myself. I still hadn't even bought all my new computer equipment and hadn't registered my company, and I hadn't done all the bits and pieces in the background or got an email or a website or anything. I was just about to, which I did it on the 1st of December. I officially started my business, so I was almost at that step of being ready to do it when we did the business anchoring together.
Yeah, I love that you've made so much progress in just 1 year. Like, it's really, really phenomenal. And I love that you spoke into that piece around like the fear that can accompany taking those next steps, because it is really scary, putting yourself out there and not knowing if you're going to be supported, really just completely going into the unknown and taking a chance on yourself. And I know that for myself, when I anchored in my own business, it brought through that another level of support and feeling like that I was held on an energetic level and that I wasn't doing my business alone. So I would love to know what your experience sort of started to become like once you were connected with your business in that way, through the business anchoring session.
It was such an inspirational session that we had when we did our business anchoring session, and I met my business guide. It was just all so clear to me and so real, and from that moment onwards I didn't feel alone at all. The way that you guided me through the meditation to meet my business guide was exactly spot on. It was just, and even when you said, do you have a name for your business partner, your business guide, immediately the name was in my head, like without a hesitation. And ever since that day, she's been there whenever I've needed her. And right, because it was October last year that we did the business anchoring together. I've asked for help, and I've received such inspirational guidance, especially at night. I get like these huge downloads at night, and I quite often have to say, okay, I need to go to sleep now. And that's been happening ever since we did the business anchoring together. I've just had this, obviously, a direct connection to that guidance when I ask for it. You have to ask for it, and I do pretty much every night before I go to sleep. I do ask for guidance, and I am grateful and say thank you, because I definitely have my business partner beside me all the time. And even now that I'm working every day, I have so many different clients now that with each different client, I just take a deep breath and I just ask for my business guide to connect with me. And I find it really easy to switch from one client to the other very quickly and be able to, it's almost like I can feel with my heart what my client wants and see through their eyes onto my computer screen. So I'm looking with my eyes, but I'm thinking to myself, would my client like what they're seeing? And so I feel like I have a connection with each of my clients that way. And I don't think that would have happened if I hadn't done the business anchoring with you. Because I've worked in this industry my entire career, and I've never worked in this way before, in a heart connection way. So yes, thanks to you.
Yeah. So welcome.
Yeah.
And I love that piece that you said earlier about, opening up to receive, and that you're asking regularly for that guidance, because I think that's sometimes the piece where we tend to fall down as business owners. You know, we like put on our big CEO jacket and our boots and we're like muscle in and like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. And oftentimes, you know, forget that there's all of that guidance and that support available to us. And all we need to do is open our hearts and our minds and our bodies to receive. And, you know, so that's what I'm hearing that you did when you first signed up to the business anchoring, is like, yes, you and I co-created that magnificent space together, and I'm so, so grateful. And it was you taking that first step, you know, and opening your heart to receive that experience, and to now be like continually embodying that process with constantly tapping in and tuning in and being willing to receive the gifts and the guidance that's wanting to come through you. So
yeah, because I do it without even thinking now. It's just a natural part of how I work now. I don't even really consciously think to myself that I'm doing it. It's just, what I do every day now, naturally.
Yeah. And you were so visual, I remember, in your particular session, because everybody has a very unique and very different session. They're very diverse according to the individual that's in front of me. And I remember that your session was very visual, and you just sort of shared that before. And it's interesting because your work is visual, and the work that you do for people is you help them with their visibility, you help them to come up with the visuals. And so I'm kind of, you've sort of already alluded to it, but I know that you're bringing that gift through. It's almost like it's amplified your innate, natural, existing gifts and allowed them to come through on a stronger level. And you've just become more conscious and intentional with that. And I know in my own work with you, I didn't understand until after you had told me this, but that you tapped into the you know, what I was sending you and what I was asking for, and you tuned in, and you came back to me one time, I remember, with like a particular color, and I was like, that's the exact color of it. How did you know? And you knew because you were tapping into that gift and that spiritual essence and that connection. So it's so beautiful to hear.
Yeah, and a lot of my clients do say things like that to me, so I know that there is something different about the way that I am doing the work for my clients. Just so many of them say to me, that's exactly what I had in mind, you know. So it's, and I've never experienced that before in all my 20 plus years of doing graphic design and marketing.
Yeah. So magical. So I'm just wondering if you would, thank you for everything that you've shared, and I'm wondering if you would feel called to just wrap up with any thoughts around how you think this could support someone else, maybe thinking about stepping into their business, or needing a little bit of a boost with where they're at based on your experience.
Well, I know for me personally, I had done quite a few courses last year in preparation for starting my own business and trying to overcome that fear that I had. I was really quite scared about taking that step and being self-employed. For me personally, that's doing the business anchoring helped me to overcome that fear. I think it probably took maybe a month or two to really settle and really sink in, and for me to think about it and really know that I wasn't alone with creating my new business. And it took a few months to really feel like really confident, and that fear was gone. So that would be my biggest part of it for me, was the overcoming that fear and doubt, just feeling I wasn't alone, feeling like I had somebody there to guide me and ask for help whenever I wanted to. It wasn't like I had to pick up the phone and call my business mentor, because I had a business mentor at the time. And it's different because this is part of me, and it's my business guide is always there. that was the difference. Yeah, I hope that explains it enough.
It totally does. Yeah. And I think you're an amazing role model for, really showing how this can work, how we can make this work for ourselves by really just opening up and allowing and letting the guidance in, because it is always there. And just for anyone who's maybe listening to this and also thinking that this is something that they're potentially interested in, just to reiterate Lisa's point that it does take a bit of time. Like, it's a very strong, powerful energetic process, very much an energetic initiation or activation. And so it is one of those things to do sooner rather than later if you're thinking about stepping into your business, and you want to clear the way and make it smoother, because there's a lot of pieces to juggle with your own business. Step into the business anchoring space sooner rather than later. Give yourself that time for everything to kind of settle and sink in, so you can feel that you really are not alone in the way that you've so beautifully described. Thank you, Lisa. And I would love to ask, for anyone who might be watching this and thinking, oh wow, I actually need an angel and some support, physical support in terms of my social media or my visual identity online, how should they best get in touch with you?
Yes, thanks, Jessica. I have Facebook and Instagram, Wild Passion Design. It's probably the easiest thing. And my email is lisa@wildpassion.co.nz. But yeah, I find that social media is how everybody finds me, and word of mouth, from other people that have seen my social media pages. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today, Lisa, and look forward to seeing even more of your work and your magic sprinkle out there into the world and touch the lives of others.
Thank you, and thank you for everything. It's definitely, from doing my business anchoring, that not even a year in, I never expected to be this far along my business a year in. So thank you so much.
Thank you. No, it's such a pleasure, and to be honest, a real honor to hear the impact and the ripple effect that this work is having. So thank you.
Thanks.